Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gaur Siddhanath Premanande. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desutagine Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapanantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakambhitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from the S.Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 17, Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth. Text 26. Right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Pumang Yoshit Uta Kriva Atma Sambhavano Bhuteso Niranukrosho Vipanam Tadvadho Vadha Umang Yosit Uta Kriva Atma Sambhavano Bhuteso Niranukrosho Vipanam Tadvado Vadha. Somebody else? Atma Sambhavano Dhamma Bhuteshu Niranukrosho Mataji's? It's okay. Prabhuji. Atma Sambhavano Dhamma Bhuteshu Niranukrosho Vipanam Tadvado Vadha. Mataji's? Atma Sambhavano Dhamma Bhuteshu Niranukrosho Vipanam Tadvado Vadha. Atma Sambhavano Dhamma Bhutesu Niranukrosho Vipanam Tadvado Vadha. Word for word meaning? Puman, a man. Yoshit, a woman. Uta, also. Kliba, a eunuch. Atma Sambhavana, interested in self-maintenance. Adama, lowest of humankind. Bhuteshu, to other living entities. Niranukrosha, without compassion. Nripanam, for the kings. Tat, of him. Vadha, killing. Avadha, not killing. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, who is only interested in his personal maintenance and has no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. Such killing can never be considered actual killing. Please repeat after me. Any cruel person, be he a man, woman, or impotent eunuch, who is only interested in his personal maintenance and has no compassion for other living entities, may be killed by the king. Such killing can never be considered actual killing. Purport. The planet Earth is actually a woman in her constitutional form, and as such, she needs to be protected by the king. Prithu Maharaj argues, however, that if a citizen within the state, be he man, woman, or eunuch, is not compassionate upon his fellow men, he or she may be killed by the king. And such killing is never to be considered actual killing. As far as the field of spiritual activities is concerned, when a devotee is self satisfied and does not preach the glories of Krishna, is not considered a first class devotee. A devotee who tries to preach, who has compassion upon innocent persons who have no knowledge of Krishna, is a superior devotee. In his prayer to the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj said that he was not personally interested in liberation from this material world. Rather, he did not wish to be liberated from the material condition until all fallen souls were delivered. Even in the material field, if a person is not interested in others' welfare, he should be considered to be condemned by the personality of Godhead or his incarnation like Prithu Maharaj. Puman yusid uta kliva atma shambhavano adhama bhuteshu nirana krosho dripanam tadbadho avadha. Prithu is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He is a Sakyavesh avatar, not in the Vishnu Tattva category. He is in the Jiva Tattva, but he is very, very exalted Jiva. Considered to be of all the monarch, I am King Prithu, says in the Bhagavad Gita. Monarch means king, ruling the citizens, and the first and foremost duty of a king is to protect the citizens and also to be sure that they are to become Krishna conscious. Are we seeing that nowadays? The kings or the prime ministers or the presidents of any country in the world? In India? Yes, somehow. He's into protecting the citizens also and trying to promote Bhagavad Gita. He says that Bhagavad Gita is the greatest gift for everyone. In a sense, he is, but an ideal king also would protect everyone, not just the human form of life, animal form of life also, like cows. Everyone, all the citizens, all the inhabitants. So King Prithu, but somehow it seems to be contrary to what the king should be doing, especially planet Earth. She is here in the body of a cow, and it's very sinful to kill a cow. It's most sinful to kill cow. That's why there is war everywhere, all over the world. Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Israel, Palestine, everywhere. Prabhupada says if they stop killing cow even for one day, there'll be peace. But here is contrary. How is it that the king, who is the main protector of everyone, all the inhabitants of his kingdom, is trying to kill the cow? Where is the compassion there? And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that the cow here, or the planet Earth, is actually a woman, feminine, in her constitutional form. That's why we call Mother Earth. Yeah? There are 7 mothers: Mother Cow, because she gives milk; Mother Earth, the husband of the king, or the wife, sorry, the wife of the king, the wife of the spiritual master, the wife of the teacher, and our nurse. When we were young, someone is also helping us uh, in our initial stage, like a nurse. But somehow she needs to be protected by the king. But Prithu Maharaj argues, no, no. If a citizen within the state, be a man or woman or eunuch, is not compassionate upon his fellow man, he or she may be killed by the king. And this is not actual killing. So, in spiritual life, the essence of bhakti, the main essence of bhakti is compassion. Our movement is meant for that, to be compassionate. However, if we apply this in everyday activities at the present moment, seems to be that we need machine guns to kill all of them. But it's not actual killing. But no, in Kali Yuga, we kill them by killing their atheistic mentality, their impersonalist mentality, by the weapon of knowledge, especially through the Sankirtan process of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not possible to kill all of those who are belonging to this category, because practically everyone is only interested in his personal maintenance. Very selfish civilization. Prabhupada says that it'll be noted in the history of the world that this Hare Krishna movement will be the one who give or save the entire world from being barbarians. You know what's barbarian? Huh? You have any idea what barbarian means? It's uncivilized. No concern about the progress in spiritual life. Materialistic. That means very much absorbed in the philosophy of I, me, and mine. Selfish. So it'll be noted in the history of the world that the Hare Krishna movement will be the one who saved the entire world from being barbarians. That's why it's predicted that for the next 10,000 years, one devotee, one of the twins, twin brother in Mayapur, he says that the 10,000 years of the golden age will begin once the Temple of Vedic Planetarium will be inaugurated. Haribo! Why? How is that? Because the Temple of Vedic Planetarium is not just meant for the devotees. Specifically, it's meant for the entire world. Everyone in all walks of life, they will come and visit Srila Mayapur. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, their mercy will be overflowing, especially to the conditioned souls who does not have any inclination to be getting out of this material world. Compassion. And the Srimad Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita are many examples of those whose personality embodies compassionate nature. Haridas Thakur in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was praying to those who were beating him up in the 22 marketplaces. He was praying for them. He's already being beaten and still praying for them. It's like Jesus Christ, yes? But there is another personality also who's a little bit deeper in compassionate nature. Vasudeva Dutt, who asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to please transfer all the sinful reactions of everyone in the entire universe, not just the planet Earth, to him, so that they also may be liberated and attain moksha. That's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that your heart is greater than mine. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying this. So the heart of a devotee is very, very soft. Softer than a melted butter. They cannot stand. That's why they're called paradukha dukhi. When he sees others suffering, he's feeling that. That they would like to help them to be saved from the cycle of repeated birth and death. This is a sign of a great devotee, an Uttama Bhakta. An Uttama Bhakta, he doesn't want anyone to suffer. There's another example in the Srimad Bhagavatam of how compassionate he is. Ambarish Maharaj. He was a king, and somehow or other he was fasting, and Durvasa Muni came along with his 10,000 disciples, and he's about to break the fast. So while Durvasa Muni and his disciples were taking bath, he broke his fast, Ambarish Maharaj, with water. And somehow Durvasa Muni became angry, and then he created a demon to kill him. But then Lord Krishna understood that his devotee will be hurt, so he cast his chakra, and Durvasa Muni was followed by this chakra everywhere in all the 14 planetary systems until he reached Vaikuntha. And then Lord Narayan says, I cannot do anything, so you better go back to whom you offended. And Prabhupada says in the purport that even before Durvasa Muni return to ask for forgiveness, Ambarish Maharaj already have forgiven him. So devotees should be forgiving, even to those who made them, put them into pain or hurt them, because a devotee, naturally, he is free from the bodily concept of life. So, Prabhupada mentions here that as far as the field of spiritual activities is concerned, when a devotee is self-satisfied and does not preach the glories of Krishna, he is not considered a first-class devotee. That means a first-class devotee, he wants to spread Krishna consciousness. But then it says that first-class devotee comes to the Madhyam platform. He goes to the Madhyam platform. This is because Madhyam platform, devotee, he sees the devotee, a fellow devotee, he sees the envious, and he also sees the innocents. A devotee, he makes friends with fellow devotee. Or a devotee who's superior than him, he tries to serve him, inquire submissively. And the same level of a devotee, like him, he becomes friendly with him. And for those who are innocent, he tries to help them. He tries to help them. And for the envious personalities, he tries to avoid them. An envious person, you cannot tame that person with a mantra. But a snake is considered to be also envious. You can charm the snake with some mantra. Unless they take up the process of Krishna consciousness, an envious human being, then they can also partake into the Sankirtan process of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, let me see here. Different size of a first-class devotee, because this is our goal. Our goal is to be a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, so that we'll be able to come to the platform where we actually have love for Krishna. That is our goal. One and foremost quality of first-class devotee is that he is having unshakable faith in Krishna. Shraddha. Shraddha is the foundation of bhakti. Adoshada tatu sadhu sangha tato vachana kriya tato nibriti. Faith. Prabhupada says, one who has faith, ultimately he surrenders to Krishna. What is the use of having faith and not surrendering to God? Modern day so-called religions, cheating religion, Prabhupada says in the first canto of the S.Bhagavatam. They may have some faith that there is God, but then what do you do after that? How do you surrender? They don't teach how to surrender, only Krishna consciousness. So, he has an unshakable faith in Krishna. That, what do you mean? Unflinching faith. that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like in other religions, they may say, oh, God is great, but they don't know how great God is. Hmm? And in our conclusion of the teachings that we've heard from the Shastra, from Guru and the Sadhus, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna's words, like the Bhagavad Gita and the Shastra, are considered to be absolute truth. Everything that has in relation to the Supreme Lord, His name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes, are all absolute. There is no difference from each other. Everything that Krishna's activities, whatever he does, is for our ultimate benefit. Even if we don't understand it immediately. So anything and everything that happens to us, whether it is joyful or some tribulations or some reversals from what we are expecting, that, it should be harmonious or it should be very favorable to me. And we think, why is God putting me into this situation? We should always think that Krishna always wants the best for us. It's very difficult to understand this. Yes, an example of this is from the Shastra, the gopis. The gopis. They never doubt Krishna's mercy. When we face difficulties, we should not complain, but strengthen our faith. Now, this is very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult. If one is not strong spiritually, he'll be shaken. And possibility that he may give up the process. But the gopis, no. Gopis. They rely on Krishna instead of material things. This is the application in our daily life. Instead of chasing money or social status, we depend entirely on Krishna. I know somebody, he has enough money to live for the rest of his life and his entire family, and still he's want to accumulate more and more and more and more. I told him, Prabhuji, you have enough money for the rest of your life. Why do you have to work so hard to spend some time in Krishna? But then every time I see him, he's with his japamala also. While working, he has his japamala. I've never seen him coming to the Holy Dham, but I've seen him somewhere in Acapulco or somewhere in France, in Paris, for holidays. If one has to go for holidays, go to the Holy Dham, like Vrindavan or Mayapur, Jagannath Puri. Then it is worthwhile for that kind of holidays or vacation. Yes, we should rely on Krishna. The gopis, they relied on Lord Krishna. They practically broke all the moral principles, or you may say moral principles and values, because some of them were married and they ran away in the middle of the night to go and see Krishna. When Krishna played his flute, that's the sign that they actually are being called. And we should increase our association with faithful devotees. Our faith grows stronger when we hear from realized devotees. and read Shastra daily. A first-class devotee, he sees Krishna everywhere and everyone as his servant. Yes, a pure devotee of the Lord, he doesn't see himself as pure. He sees himself as very unqualified, and he sees everyone as devotees of the Supreme Lord. A neophyte devotee, he thinks that he is the most superior, that he is superior than everyone else. That everyone else are not doing enough service. I'm the only one who's doing the most service. This is a neophyte devotee. A neophyte devotee is like this. So, yes, he sees everyone and everywhere. Krishna, as everyone as his servant, and he sees Krishna everywhere. What does that mean? That all living entities are eternal servants of Krishna. He sees that. He sees the super soul in everyone. Is that Vidya, Vinaya Sampane, Brahmano Gapi Hastini? Suni Chaiva Sapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. So he sees everyone in equal vision because the Paramatma is there. He sees Krishna's energy in nature, rivers, mountains, animals, and people, and no one as an enemy. Sometimes we see others who inflict pains upon us as our enemy. Actually, no. They're just an instrument from which we receive the reaction from our previous karma. So it is not. They're not our enemy. Bhagavatam says also that those who give us hard time, they are our friend. Ah, what? How is that? Well, because our karma becomes lightened up, lighter. They're not the cause of our pain. It is only through them that our pain is being received from our previous lifetimes. So, no one is an enemy. Again, we give the example of Haridas Thakur. Application, practical application, treat everyone as part of Krishna. Whether it's a beggar or a millionaire, he sees them as Krishna's children. We should control our anger and practice forgiveness. Is Ritu Maharaj practicing this? Because Mother Earth, she would hold all the natural elements, all the vegetables, the fruits, all the necessities for one to survive. She would hold all of them. Because previously, when King Vina died, then all the dacoits, all the sinful people, they were became prominent. So Mother Earth, in order to not be a harm, she withdrew all of them. And we shall see later on that Mother Earth, she resumed her duty. Control anger and practice forgiveness. When someone insults us, see them as ignorant soul rather than an enemy. Appreciate nature as Krishna's energy. Another symptom of pure devotee, completely free from material desires. First-class devotee has no desire for sense gratification. And the epitome of sense gratification is the desire to enjoy the opposite sex. This is the topmost pleasure that one can have in the material world. the sense, the urge for sex has to decrease. So we can know whether we are making advancement in Krishna consciousness or not. If our propensity to enjoy is increasing, that means our application of the process of bhakti is not proper. And if it is decreasing, then our application of the process is becoming successful. There is no way we can control our mind. Prabhupada says there's no possible because the mind is always active. The best way how to control the mind is to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's the only way. We should pray. Prayers are very powerful. But we have to act as well. First class devotee has no desire for liberation or mukti, only pure bhakti. He has no fear of loss, knowing Krishna is the real maintainer. Is one of the symptoms of a pure devotee. He knows Krishna is there to protect him. But don't expect full protection if we only are 10% surrender. How can you accept, how can you expect 100% protection if we're only 10%? So that means only 10% protection from Krishna. Ye tamam prapajyante tam sataiva bhajamiham. As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So that's, again, we gave that example of Ambarish Maharaj. He dedicated everything. He used his feet to go to the temple. He used his eyes to have darshan of the Lord. He used his nose to smell the fragrant flowers offered to Lord Krishna and the incense. He used his tongue to only eat Krishna prasad and vibrate the holy name. He used his ears to hear the glorification of the Lord. He used his hands and also worshiping the Lord and also like embracing devotees. So he used everything. He is the best example of Atmanivedanam, complete surrender. His body, mind, and words, and ultimately his very self, his Atma, the soul. And I was talking about that the other day in Vrindavan. Actually, it was yesterday. Atma, the Atma, soul has a heart. It's not just when we say cleansing of the heart. Cleansing of the heart is not the mechanical heart that we have that's pumping the blood. No. Our heart, the soul is a heart. The heart now, at this time, is full of contamination, full of anarthas. Prabhupada says it is as black as a coal, or more black than a coal. This is not so black. No. Coal is like really black. But our heart, due to our contamination coming in contact with the material energy, then the modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, pollutes our heart. That means the soul, the heart of the soul. So pure devotee's heart is no tarnished. crystal clear. You can see yourself. That's why when we practice bhakti, we started to see ourselves, not from the mirror, not from the mirror. We see, we have to go deep, deep inside. Try to search, what is it that making me slow and not so have taste in the process. So we should find a solution. Especially we can find a solution when we associate with advanced devotees. A pure devotee of the Lord, they can see through. It's like some of Prabhupada's disciples, they says that, oh, when Prabhupada look at me, it's like looking inside of me. Not just the external. No. Material things is irrelative. Material appearance is irrelative. What's more important is inside. That's why bhakti is not external, it's more internal. You may see a person who's very busy going back and forth, doing many service, but then he criticizes devotees, looking for, the mistakes of others. Is he doing bhakti? No. Of course not. External can be deceiving. So, yes, we should avoid material greed, stay peaceful in any situation, and offer everything to Krishna. I have this sticker. One devotee in US, he gave me a sticker. Offer everything to Krishna. And I put that in my locker so I can always see. Offer everything to Krishna. One day, hopefully all of us will come to that platform. Right now, more for me and a little bit for Krishna. It's not even 50-50. If we reach 50-50, that's a lot of improvement. Or even, Prabhupada says, if we surrender 80% towards Lord Krishna, to Krishna, then he'll make sure we'll go back home, back to Godhead. So how do you measure 80%? Surrender. That means also 100%, isn't it? How do you measure 80% of surrender? That means Prabhupada is very lenient. Because one time he was giving a class and he was like hammering, one must surrender, you must surrender, because this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharma. Give up everything and surrender unto me. And the devotees' faces, they look very, very kind of like worried. How is this going to happen? 100%. And the class was over. Okay, if you surrender 90%, I'll make sure you go back to Godhead. Then there's not much change, but 90% is not much difference, isn't it? 90%. But then he stood up because the class was over, and then he flipped his chadar. He says, okay, 80%. If you're 80% surrendered unto Krishna, I'll make sure you go back home, back to Godhead. And everyone says, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And Prabhupada says, I have the key to the back door. I have the key to the back door. So you can go exit immediately. It's like, exit is easily accessible. So there's a lot of hope for all of us. Don't be that disappointed if we're not that 100% surrender. A pure devotee always chant and glorify Lord Krishna. He's chanting the names of Krishna with love. This is the difference between a pure devotee and a devotee who is in the beginning stage. Prabhupada says if you chant 16 rounds minimum every day and follow the four regulative principles, you will go back to Godhead. But the chanting of 16 rounds is attentive and no offenses. We can chant like a parrot. It's like I have a sister, and she taught the parrot how to say Hare Krishna. I can have you hear that, but yeah, the parrot say Krishna, Krishna. Let me see if I can. Hare Krishna. Let me see if I can find it immediately. I was not expecting this to be. Hold on. You'll be surprised. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not making this up, okay? Let me see. Just now coming. Hopefully it's almost there. It's almost there. I hope I can see it immediately. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Maybe it's not here. Hold on. One more try. It's really amazing how she taught the bird how to chant. But will the bird say that at the end of his life? Yeah? Maybe not. Oh, okay. That's the bird. See, can you hear? Did you hear that? Now, do you think the bird is actually realizing that Hare Krishna is not different than the Supreme Lord? No. So Prabhupada says, don't chant like a parrot. Don't chant like a bird. When we chant, it should be with love and devotion. Yes, we should be absorbed in Krishna conscious activities. So chant without offenses, avoid gossip, avoid prajalpa, avoid, what's that? Grammakata, village talk. Avoid social media. That's what it means. Hare Krishna. And engage in kirtan as much as possible. So I'm going to stop here now. There's so many things more I can say, but somehow I hope that we get the point here that killing according to the Bhagavatam, according to Prita Maharaj, is not actually killing if you kill those who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. They're only interested in personal maintenance. But we cannot do that in the age of Kali. We kill them, their atheistic mentality, by distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, by performing Harinam Sankirtan, and by distributing Krishna Prasadam. They become purified in that way. Hare Krishna, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ke, Taigo Shitanath Premanande. Hari Om Tat Sat. Dhanyavad. Okay. Thank you very much. We have a flight going to Melbourne this morning. So I will come back for next weekend, right? Thank you. Hare Krishna.